So I've been doing breakdowns on people for 20 years now, and I remember back in 2015, my cameraman, Alfonso, decided to break out this 70 by 200 lens. And this is a lens that would allow us to do close-up shots. Prior to that, we would do sort of full body shots, but this was a close-up lens. And I remember looking on the close-up lens at the people who I was breaking down on the footage after the seminars, and I would notice different things in their pupils, in their demeanor, in their tension, things that I kind of noticed prior to having the close-up lens, but that became very, very obvious once I had the close-up lens. And so what wound up happening was between around 2015, and we're sitting here in, as of recording this, you might be seeing this in the future, 2023, around 8 years, I have been bringing people to the front of rooms and breaking down their communication. And a weird thing that I'm able to do is I can usually tell what they rate themselves out of 10. I can tell the number of dating successes that they've had. I can usually guess what their income is, and I can usually get some kind of sense of how they would describe themselves just by looking at a couple of different little key factors. And it's kind of a trip to see this, but you really can get very, very good at cold reading other people. And the advantage of this is that once you learn how to cold read other people, you can start to look at footage of yourself and you can see how you're coming across. And then this winds up being a major, major breakthrough in your social life, in creating attraction with people, networking, making friends, getting a promotion, leadership. It becomes this thing where you understand subcommunication at a high level, and then you can begin to get a sense of this sort of kinetic chain that begins from the inside. Everything from your belief system to how present to the moment you are, to the movement in your body and your physiology, to the kind of mental dialogue that's going on, all the way to how that manifests into the things that you choose to say, vocal tone, vocal projection, cadence, shifts in tone, being unstifled, different forms of frame control, and just the sort of way that you lead yourself and react to other people. You can begin to break this stuff down, and what starts to happen is you will understand what it means to position yourself as a 9 or a 10. So we're going to be breaking into this in this video, and my goal with this video is to get you onto a path where, let's say, for example, you might want to go into, there's many things that you could do with this, but for example, you might go into, say, a bar or a club, and rather than needing some kind of a dog and pony show to be able to talk to people or to create attraction, rather you're just, quote, being yourself, but the being yourself is actually working much, much better than any kind of dog and pony show. However, there's millions and millions of little subtle micro things that are happening that allow you to be fully who you are. And the argument that I would make is that you are a 10, but that you have simply unlearned it. So I'm going to be talking about that in this video so that you can get to the point where you walk down the street and people just see you as somebody who is completely awesome, very desirable to talk to, brings a lot of good energy, whether that's just to make regular friends, whether that's for attraction, promotion at work, being able to talk into a camera, being able to talk in front of a seminar crowd, whatever the case, whatever your goal is socially. You want to be popular, you want to lessen social anxiety, you want to feel like your best self, you want to own your space, you want to show up for other people at your best, whatever the case, I want to show you in this video how to do that. Now, leading into this, just as a heads up, we're going back on tour, okay? We're going to be doing live events. I would like to sort of sell you on the idea here of flying into Miami or into LA. And I'd recommend that you do Miami because it's coming up, okay? So we're going to be doing a number of different dates that are coming up. If you look right here, you're going to see in www.selfhelpfreetour, we have April 18th, we're coming to Orlando. Now, if you're local to Orlando or Tampa, come out to that. That's going to be more like a 2 to 4 hour meet and greet. I'm going to go in there and completely smash it for maybe 2 to 4 hours. It's going to be the best evening probably of your month or your year, but I'm going to kind of be in and out. I'm doing that as a smaller city for us just to go say hi to the people in Orlando because I'm going to be in Miami for a couple of weeks, okay? But why not go say hi to the people in Orlando? I was thinking of doing Tampa and Jacksonville. I decided just to stick to Orlando. If you're in Jacksonville or Tampa, drive into Orlando. I'll see you on Tuesday night. Likewise, though, and this is the big one to fly in for, is Miami South Beach. These are completely free events, by the way. They're no charge. And what's going to happen is on the 21st, 22nd, and 23rd, myself and my team of instructors, and I'm going to be running most of it, are going to be in town, and we are going to be absolutely smashing it in a 3 full-day free event. And in this event, we're going to be doing things like bringing you up to the front, giving you breakdowns on your communication, having you work within small groups, have you work on things like your motivation, your career, how to do sales and marketing and make money, exercise-based, different things about attraction and social skills, being spiritually tapped in, a number of different exercises, and very, very powerful things that we do at these free events that are absolutely off the chains. I want to make this clear. This is typically an event that would be $4,000 or $5,000. It is a full-fledged event. If you're sitting in Norway right now and you're like, oh, I don't know if I'd fly all the way into Miami because it's like the free event. Is it actually good? Yes, it's good. It's absolutely amazing. You are going to go crazy over it. There's people that follow these all over the country because every event is different. Every event's unique and every event is amazing. Okay, so I would urge you to fly into Miami April 21st, 22nd, and 23rd for the completely free event. Just go to www.selfhelpfreetour. Likewise, we're going to be doing them. The next one after that is going to be LA. Also, 26th, 27th, and 28th. And then we're going to do a quick stop off in Portland after that. Again, it's going to be kind of like Orlando, quick, 2 to 4 hour meet and greet, smash it. If you're in Portland, go. But likewise, if you're in Portland, I'd also just drive into Seattle because Seattle that weekend, we're going to do a full 2-day one on July 15th and 16th. Then we've got Chicago, Honolulu, New York, Boston, Philadelphia, Washington, Dallas, Houston, Austin, Phoenix, Vegas, San Diego, San Francisco, all coming up this year. Julian is going to be doing a tour of Europe. If you're anywhere in Europe, I would look it up. Jeff's going to be in London. Look up dates all over Europe. I'll just give you quickly the European dates. Zurich, Vienna, Paris, Amsterdam, Copenhagen, Stockholm, Berlin, London, and a number of other cities. I think even, is Oslo on there? Could you please check for me? It's down, 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 down. Check. Yeah, Oslo's on there too. So basically, make sure that if you're in Europe or if you're in the States or anywhere in the world that you fly into one of these events. We specifically did the 3-day version so that you can fly in. The 2-day versions are also worth flying in. I probably wouldn't fly in for a 1-night version, but if you're anywhere within a 5-hour drive of a 1-night version, you'd still be great to do it. Guys like Jordan Peterson or Eckhart Tolle have people coming in from all over the country for a quick 2-hour event. So I can promise you this is going to be a wild, wild evening, whatever the case, okay? So there's going to be a ton of free events coming up. Make sure that you fly in. Also, the sooner that you get logged in, we start sending you bonuses. We start doing Zoom calls with you the second that you get signed up. Click on the Self-Help Free Tour and get signed up. Now, in some kind of a depressing case that you can't get signed up, let's say that you're anywhere in the world, what I also did was made a completely, utterly free course. That is www.higherpurposeprogram.com. Again, you're thinking it's a free course. Could it really be awesome if it's a free course? It can. It's loaded with information. And these here that I do are riffs off the dome, practicing the art of free association. The free course is a highly structured, step-by-step how-to course of how to smash it socially and how to build your personal growth to the highest level possible. And these are courses that I really, really busted my butt to create, step-by-step, very, very deep, higher purpose program. I tend to switch them up and kind of like do different iterations of them. So the iteration that I have up now, I'm taking down soon. It is loaded. So go get in there before I make the new version. I just play around with this and tweak it, but every single version is different, and then you'll get access to the new version anyway, but you'll lose access to the old version if you don't get in there now. So again, www.higherpurposeprogram.com. Hop in there. You also get access to a completely free phone call when you get in there. I would actually do the call. It's a free coaching call, and also a completely free Discord group. If you remember our old school groups, get inside the Discord group, okay? So make sure, again, that you fly in for the upcoming events. Miami and LA, the two huge ones. I'd come to Miami and come party with me. I got my Miami shirt on. I'm getting ready to go there. I'm going to be out every night smashing it. You're going to see me out at the bars and clubs, ripping it to shreds. You're going to see me in the seminar room. We're going to have so much fun. We're going to be in big groups. It's going to be a party of the year. LA is going to be amazing. And again, higher purpose program. Last point on this that we're going in today's video. Please, please, please find a way to fly in. Just do it, okay? Don't make an excuse. Just do it. Go to Expedia. Book a cheap hotel if you need to. If you got to show up and you don't have a hotel, I'll find somewhere for you to stay. Somebody will put you up. Just tell them. Make sure that you tell me. Don't assume it just happens. I'll call out to the audience. Somebody will let you crash on their couch. If nobody will, I'll let you crash on my couch. I've actually done that the rare time that I couldn't find someone to crash on their couch. I'm just like, just come crash on my couch, okay? So I love people that like find a way to get this done. I like action takers that get results, not people that always have an excuse. I'm looking forward to meeting you in person. It's going to be a surreal experience. I love you very much. I'm looking forward to meeting you. Now, let's go into today's seminar. So in the last video that we did on how to position yourself as a 10, what I talked about was finding a niche-based audience who appreciates you for what it is that you have. Okay? I talked about Garrett J. White. I talked about the way that he actually screens for people who appreciate what it is that he has to offer. We went into great detail about that. What I'd like to do now is go a little bit deeper on breakdowns of personality and how this comes across. Okay, so the first thing that I want you to understand is that your social results are going to vary so incredibly tremendously. You have no idea based on your behavior. Okay? Based on your behavior. So in other words, you can live in a reality where you go out to, say, a bar or club, just an example, a party, and you are by far the most popular person there. I do not care what your excuse is. I don't care. I don't care at all. You could be, like, you can put me in a wheelchair. Again, that would be a really difficult thing for someone to experience if that's their life. I have friends that are in wheelchairs. I know it's tough. But I could be put in a wheelchair, and I could absolutely take over the club in a wheelchair. You can dress me like crap. I can take over the club dressed like crap. You can do anything to me. You can dress me up, you can give me any handicap in the world. I don't care what the handicap is. I will go and I will be the life of the party. Any handicap. By the way, take my voice away. Say to me that you can't even talk. You have seen old videos of me tearing up the club without even talking. You don't need to talk. You don't need to look anyway. It's all an excuse. You're a total liar. You're a total loser if you can't just own this. So please just realize it's on you. You can do this. I'm going to show you how in this video. Also, again, www.higherpurposeprogram. That would be a structured way for you to learn how to do it. But anybody who tells you that they can't go tear up the club or be either the most popular or one of the most popular people, that you can't have an amazing dating life, social life, that you can't use those social skills to make a lot of money, anybody who tells you that is lying. Also, I am personally a self-made millionaire. I've done over 100 millions in sales, and I've probably done a couple 100 million in sales. I just haven't tracked all of it. Love to make cash, but money has nothing to do with it either. Again, you could dress me up in a woman's dress, although to be fair, that's kind of popular these days with Harry Styles. You put me in anything, I don't care what you put me in. Don't care the excuse, I will take over, okay? Just like I could do in a seminar room. If I was doing a free tour and I came in a wedding dress, I'm still going to go tear up the free tour. It'd probably just make it even funnier, okay? There's no excuse in the world. There's none. The only excuse that you could have is that you just don't want it. And if you don't want it, that's on you. You just don't want it. Just admit that you don't want it. Admit that you don't care enough to do it, and then we can just shut up and move on to you playing video games and having your crusty keyboard. I am not against you playing video games and having a crusty keyboard. I do believe it's satanic, but that's up to you if you want to go to hell. I don't care. That's on you, but just admit what it is. Like, if you don't want results, just admit what it is now that you don't want the result. Admit it, just say, I don't want result, and then just accept that you don't want a result. But if you want it, then own it, okay? If you want social results, then own it. If you want money, then own it. If you want to be spiritually tapped in, then own it. If you want to travel, then own it. Same reason I told you to come to Miami. You want to come to Miami? Own it. Just come. Don't let it become another thing that passes you by. There's people that watch this that haven't even gotten a higher purpose program yet. You know, it's like, I want to take over the world and be a billionaire. Can't even get into something like this that would show you the path. So own the fact that you want great results. Own the fact that you want to smash it. Own the fact that you want to be amazing, that you want an amazing quality of life, and that you want the best for yourself. Just own it. Just be like, look, that's what I want. Own it, and then do it. That's what it comes down to. So from that standpoint, once you realize that you're like, this is what I want. Because I don't know about you, but I hate living bad. I can meditate all day. You can take everything away from me and I can build it back. I can build it back from scratch. Spoiler alert, I have. You just never noticed, okay? I made it look so easy that you didn't know what I did. I've had to do it a couple times, in case you didn't know, by the way. So I've had to rebuild things before from scratch, case you didn't know. Okay? Case you didn't know, but I hit it just to make it look smooth. So the point being is, whatever is taken from you, whatever disadvantage you have, are nothing. They don't exist. They don't exist. It's a disadvantage of the mind. Own the fact that you want it. Okay, that's my little rah-rah for you today, okay? Just admit that you want it and let's go get it. So from there, we've got to start looking at the kinetic chain of the belief system inside your brain, who it is that you believe that you are. Who do you think you are? What do you rate yourself in your brain? Let's just say out of 10 is a very superficial, simple way of looking at it. How present to the moment are you? How present to the moment are you? How much control over your emotional state do you have? How much are you at the cause or the, effect of your emotions is basically what I would ask you, okay? So to what extent, like if you walk into a venue, do you perceive yourself as a 10? Are you super present to the moment? Are you highly self-amused? Are you impervious to anybody else's validation and self-validating? Are you having the time of your life? Are you gliding down the street, just literally walking on a cloud, okay? Are you walking on a cloud? And that's up to you to control those things. Those are things that are within your control. You can control them. You might have severe trauma. You could do trauma release. Your brain might be a mess. You could take psychotherapy or do whatever you have to do or look up self-help. You could be not very self-amused. You could go watch stand-up comedy and learn how to have a better sense of humor and get out there more and engage with people more. There is so many different things that you could do to take control of this. You can learn social skills. I've taught you social skills for many years. I've given a lot of examples of it. And you can also go out and just create your own examples, how I taught myself, as well as having mentors. So you are in control of this kinetic chain. But the beginning of this chain is basically what's going on inside your mind. So let's have a little bit of a look at this. What do you think of yourself? And you'll say to yourself, okay, I'm a 10. But the problem is, do you actually believe it? And the way that you want to think about it is that the I am a 10 thing is in effect a muscle. And it is a muscle that you want to be 50% as delusional and 50% as real. What do I mean by that? Okay, so the two sides of the coin is that if you build it on a delusion completely without actually improving yourself, it can make some weird vibes, right? That makes some weird vibes. Like you're this person who's kind of a loser. You view yourself as a 10. It's got some weird vibes to it, right? It's like, why don't you just improve yourself rather than having to just delude yourself in this weird, bizarre house of mirrors that you've created for yourself? That's probably not the healthiest way of going about it, right? But the converse of that is that I also have many, many clients, my highest paying clients, who are people that run 8 and 9-figure businesses. And these are people who have everything and usually still don't think that they're a 10. If you're somebody who runs an 8 or 9-figure company, I'd ask you, do you believe that you're a 10? Like, did running that business get you to the point that you finally accept that you're a 10? I bet you it didn't. In most cases, it doesn't. Why doesn't it work? Like, why doesn't self-improvement necessarily work in most cases to get you to the point that you believe you're a 10? Because what you've done is that whatever you think on loop is creating synaptic superhighways in your brain. So if all the time all that you're thinking is, when I get to 7 figures, I'm going to be a 10. When I get to my first million, I'm a 10. When I get to my first 10 million, I'm a 10. When I get to my first 50 million, I'm a 10. When I get to my first 100 million, I'm a 10. When I get to my first billion, I'm a 10, et cetera, et cetera. Then what you're doing is you're creating the all be a 10 when synaptic superhighway in your brain, or all be happy when synaptic superhighway in your brain. So what happens is that your brain rewires to always defer self-esteem, to always defer self-confidence, to always defer being happy, to always defer feeling your greatest joy. It just basically rewires itself basically against you, okay? So understanding that, you will now come to realize that it's kind of the same thing in the gym. Like, to be honest with you, I've had periods that I'm in great shape. I've had periods that I'm out of shape. And it was always the periods that I'm out of shape that my social results and my dating life was better. And it was because I wasn't comparing myself. So whenever I'm in the gym regularly, I've been in pretty respectable shape, from years in the gym. I didn't take steroids or anything, but I got in like pretty good shape. And the thing is, like, I would just see people there that were in better shape than me. It would kind of remind me that I'm not in their shape. A lot of them are on steroids. And I would just feel worse about myself. But if I just didn't go to the gym for a couple years and I just like ate what I wanted and just partied and had fun, I just think I'm the man. I forget about that whole thing. I party hard. I have so much fun. I'm not judging myself. And then that lack of self-judgment, I actually get better social results. So, is the answer then to get super fat, go party hard and get results? Is the answer just go to the gym and, take the steroids? Like, where's the answer? Don't ever take the steroids, but, it's probably somewhere in there in the middle, right? Like, probably a good idea to like make at least a couple $1 million. Probably a good idea to, at least go to the gym somewhat. Probably a good idea to like, have some travel and some accomplishment, like go do that stuff. But also realize that like so much, like you should already be having success, like pretty much starting tomorrow. Like that's another thing to understand. Like success isn't in a week. Success isn't in a month. Like, social success is easy enough that you should be able to have your first major success the next time that you go out. Like, just allow yourself to believe that for like 10 minutes, that the next time that you go out, like, the person who you want to meet the most in that bar or club is like going on an adventure with you that same night in a win-win way where you both are super happy about it. Well, put that in your mind now, that that's like what you're going to do later today. And then just go do that and start stacking wins right now. And then your skill set and your inner transformation can also proceed from there. Like, you're allowed to go start winning now, but then still want more wins. Does that make sense? You're allowed to go make your first 100K and then go make another couple 100K. You're allowed to go make a couple million and then make another couple million. Like, you can do that now. You could just decide now to go do that, study how to do it, learn the skills of how to do it. And like, again, the counter argument here is like, well, that's hard. You need to learn this and that and the other thing. But the problem is that as soon as you say that, it will defer you from actually taking the real action to do it. So why don't you say, like, what would I do if I want to triple my income for the year, like within a couple days from now, I'll be on a trajectory of that? Or what would I do to be able to have insane social results the very next time that I go out, like gun to the head, or just like from inspiration and joy, I'm just gonna go do that now. Like, you just decided that, like, now's when you're doing it. You're not waiting anymore. Does that make sense? And, you know, if you didn't get the result, you don't need to beat yourself up or something or lower your self-esteem, but just like, why don't you just make that choice now? Like, how would that impact the way that you'd walk in the venue, the way that you'd carry yourself, that, you know, the sense of urgency, but also joy that you'd have? Okay, like, a big thing that I have is that every night that I go out and every seminar that I do, I treat it like it's my last. Does that make sense? Like, if you see me out, even at 43, I have kind of like a, you know, say it was Tom Brady or Kobe at the end of their career, like, knowing my age now, I feel more joy and I bring more energy and focus and like playing for keeps now when I go out than even when I was in my early 20s and I had a chip on my shoulder. I had a deficiency and something to prove. Like, I go out looking like a lame newbie chode who has something to prove times 1,000. That's how I go out. And I do that because I'm getting older. I know that these are some of my final nights out like this. And I know that I'm gonna party the hardest I've ever partied. I do this sober. I'm gonna rip it apart more than I've ever ripped it apart. I'm gonna have adventures like I've never had. I'm gonna crush it like I've never crushed it. I'm gonna push my own personal limits like I've never pushed my own personal limits. I mean, you might have seen some of the seminars that I'm releasing on the Free Tour channel, like multiple hours. I'm going into these free tours like, I don't know how much longer I'm going to be doing free tours for. I'll always be doing events as long as I have a voice to do them. But like, am I going to really be able to like justify doing just completely free events forever? So like, even that has its own unique flavor, right? Like the way that I kind of riff improvisationally in a free event, I can't do that at a paid event. That's part of why I do free events or like lives like this, that I can kind of just riff and kind of just go off the dome and be a little all over the place. But like, it's its own art form of free association, right? And then in the proper events, they're very structured. Even inside the free program, very structured, higher purpose program. So coming from that standpoint, knowing that I'm getting to do a free associative seminar, not knowing how many more I have. Maybe I get killed in a car accident. You know, not knowing if it's forever, right? Or going out to a bar or club or going out to a party or having a party at my house. Like, I'm going to have more fun than I've ever had because I don't know how many left I have. I don't take that for granted. I don't know that the crazy Uber driver that smokes weed is not going to crash the car on the way down. That can literally happen, and then they'll replay this video like, look, he even said it. It was a premonition. No, it's not a premonition. It's just called that actually happens. Could happen to you too. So, you know, go in there like a living legend. Go in there like God is watching. Go in there with absolute joy and passion and win now. Now! Okay? Win now! And one of the first things that you can do to win now is stack small wins. Go into www.higherpurposeprogram and get in there now and feel the self-esteem of actually doing something that you said you're going to do. Go book a free event. Don't assume I'm going to do free events forever at your convenience. Like, could you do a free event like later at my convenience? Don't assume that, okay? www.selfhelpfreetour.com. I'd recommend come to the one in Miami, 21st to 23rd. Get in there and come and spend 3 full days with us. It's going to be unbelievable. I'm excited to see you inside there. So you can start learning now inside Higher Purpose Program, and you can fly in. Find a way to make it happen. Can you? Stack the win. Imagine the kind of openness and receptivity that you'd come into the event with, ready to learn if you actually did that and stack that win. Then we're going to go party that night. Go out there, party, have fun. Everybody's going to be out that night in South Beach, partying in South Beach. You're going to be making the myths and the legends to be remembered for the rest of your life. Or you can sit at home, because you're busy, and have another forgettable weekend that in a year from now, you can't even pinpoint, nothing memorable at all, and another blob blur of life. Come and join me for a memory that you'll never forget. Let's go make memories together. I want to meet you. So again, www.selfhelpfreetour, higherpurposeprogram.com. Let's start your adventure now. Click those links, okay? So walking in the venue, I have that exact mindset. In other words, everybody who doesn't bring energy is a loser. Why? Because they take their life for granted. They think that things are around forever, and they don't truly engage with life. And as a result, they walk around like a 5. They walk around like a 6. They walk around like some chode. They just decide to lose. They're just losers. That's, by the way, you can write that off and be like, oh, he's trying to show his context about a winner and losers to get me to buy that. You can say that if you want. And I guess there's something there. But I would ask you to objectively go into your heart. Use your logical brain. You're going to live a very, very short life. Your life's going to be short. No, even if you live to 110. Every day is a gift. Every moment's a gift. Why would you choose to dim your light? Why would you choose to live as a 5? I'd rather be dead than live like that. Why would you choose to live broke? Why would you choose not to travel? Why would you I don't mean to harp on this, but it's just pertinent to me right now. Why would you if you're somebody that didn't get in a higher purpose program, why? Later, right? Why? If you're somebody that's not going to come fly down and join me in Miami, why? Well, there's practical stuff. If I lived like that, I would not have anything that I have. Everything that I have was inconvenient. Everything that I had to hustle for. Everything that I had to go out and get. I had to make makeshift solutions and jerry-rig things and use duct tape and find a way to get it done. I did a lot of sleeping on floors. I had a lot of little odd jobs. I did a lot of thinking outside the box. Nothing is going to just come handed to you other than the default living like kind of a slave. So I want to meet you. Make that happen. Make that a metaphor for your accomplishment. Excited to meet you, Miami. So now you've walked inside that venue. You've walked inside the venue. And let's think about the kinetic chain that you have going on. So right off the bat, what are your beliefs about yourself? Some of these beliefs that you have about yourself could be things like, I'm a 2, I'm a 3, I'm a 5, whatever, right? You've got these different beliefs about yourself. And you've seen me breaking down people on stages before. I'm sure that you've seen that. In the future, I'll pull some of those up and we can show you examples of it. And I'll break down them even further. And, so you've got to start asking yourself, what is the belief system that you have about you? And let's say that tomorrow your success begins. How could you begin to retool that? That'd be the next thing I'd ask you. How do you begin to retool it? How do you begin to change it? And what I would tell you is that yes, on one level, improve yourself. You don't need to be the fully delusional person. But what I would also ask you is, if I lost all my money now, got in a severe car accident, and was all burnt up, had no money, covered in burns, and was a wreck, would I just never leave my house again? Would I not want to have intimacy with people that I'm attracted to ever again? Would I not want to have friends? Would I not want to go make money? I'd still view myself as a 10. I don't care what happens, I view myself as a 10. It doesn't matter what happens. So, on one hand, I guess, go accomplish stuff so you're not like a delusional twit. But why can't you just realize that perception of yourself is a muscle? And you've got to also strengthen it. Now, people say, well, I wouldn't be motivated. What do you mean you wouldn't be motivated? If you thought highly of yourself, you wouldn't want to travel the world? If you think highly of yourself and accept and love yourself, you wouldn't want to date amazing people? If you think highly and amazing of yourself, you wouldn't want to make more money? Where does that come? That's bizarre. That's I don't even know what that is. Does that exist? But that's when someone is so much in a coping mindset that, as soon as they get a bit of self-acceptance, they just eliminated the cope and they stopped there. For me, a high self-belief is the foundation to create the epic myths, to create the legends, to live the life of legends. It's the foundation of everything. I train my son. I love my children, like Dylan. I love you no matter what. I love you no matter what you do. You're the coolest person I've ever met. It's a privilege for me to be your father. I say to my kid every day, what do you want? What can I do for you? What do you want me to buy you? I will buy you anything you want. I will take you anywhere you want. You could do anything you want. I love you. I love you unconditionally. There will never be anything that in the world that you want that I won't go get you right now. I love you so much. I love you no matter what. Does that make him start acting like a dickhead? Does that make him lose motivation? Or is he in the gifted program despite being is he the top student in the gifted program despite being out of school half the year traveling and skiing with me? Is he running 2-hour segments of public speaking sessions without even me training him? You're thinking, you must have trained him, he's your kid, right? No, he saw a couple of them, and then he went up and did the event himself, and I posted it. He's got tons of energy, he's always doing things, and he's the nicest kid you've ever seen. So, I don't know how his story will wind up. That'll be on him as I have less influence as I get older. You can't control your own kid. But I can tell you that him having high self-esteem certainly didn't, he crossed 1,000 followers on Instagram today. That's kind of cool. But I can tell you that, having high self-esteem didn't lower his motivation. I think that it empowered him to want to go do great things. So raise your self-esteem. When I tell Dylan, I love you, I'm just giving him a basic foundation that you've got to give yourself. Do you love yourself? Do you view yourself as a 10? Do you love yourself? If that makes you weird and freaky and disconnected, I don't think that's really that you view yourself as a 10. I think you just view yourself as a 2 and are lying and saying that you view yourself as a 10. When you actually view yourself as a 10, you want to go take on the world. You want the best for yourself and, more importantly, for others. So view yourself as a 10 right now. Begin to shift that belief system, okay? Position yourself that way. Now, the next thing is how present to the moment you are. And again, this is a muscle. How do you enhance the muscle of being present to the moment? Well, one thing that you could do is you could start meditating, right? Here's the problem, right? I'll tell you, go watch Higher Purpose Program, which has a free phone call and has a free Discord group. And there's so much great value in there, right? But weirdly, 99% of people will choose to just surf the internet. And it's hard for them to even click the link. And then even if they click the link, it's hard for them to even fill out the type form, the little form to get in. And then even if they do that, it's hard for them to actually watch the program. I know the percentage of people that watch the program because I can see it, if you watched it or not. I know if you watched it. And the reason why is because inside that program are the things that actually produce results. And likewise, in meditation, it actually produces results, right? The whole idea of meditation is like you don't get a result, but meditation produces results. So you'd rather do things that just addict you to the satanic entertainment system of the internet, which is basically just this giant psyop. And you'd rather just look at that and get psyoped than go meditate or go look at the things that would help you or go book a couple $100 flight and meet me in person while I'm still doing a free event. But you'd rather just stare into a psyop and be poisoned, right? So I can tell you the basic steps, but you have to want more for yourself. So meditate, like actually meditate. Actually, when I give you free stuff, actually watch it. When I post free videos on the free channel, actually watch it. When I do a free event, actually show up at it. If I tell you to go try something, actually go try it if you believe in what it is that I'm saying. I'd encourage you to make your own decision on that. So from that basic standpoint, start meditating. So first of all, I said start curating your beliefs. Second thing is start meditating. The next one is people that are true 10s love life. They're laughing. They have joy. They let out big, giant laughs all the time. I'm willing to talk to you here and kind of come to where you're at and talk to you and be like stern with you. But if you see me out and you come and try to have a serious conversation with me, I'm not going to have a serious conversation with you. It's very unlikely you get a serious conversation with me when I'm out. Why is that? Because I'm laughing. I'm having big, deep laughter. It's my job when I'm out to have the most joy of anybody there, right? In the same way that if you're a weightlifter and say you're all juiced up and you want to be like the best weightlifter, you'd want to be lifting the most weights. When you're out, you want to be having the most fun. Well, having the most fun also starts now. It comes like, it's that ability to just like walk down the street and just glory in the power of your life. Just to sit there, just glorying in power. Like walk through a park and be like, I'm alive. I am grateful. Thank you, God, for this. You've been given the gift of life, the gift of creation, and it's this brief little thing. So, I look at my son Tristan running around laughing and playing and never serious, and I'm learning from him. Tristan, my 4-year-old son Tristan, is a role model of mine. You will never get him to be serious, and you'll also never get him to comply. I love how non-compliant my son is. My son, he will not comply, okay? Tristan will not comply. We were in the park today, and I want to get his shirt off so he can get some vitamin D, and I'm like, take off your shirt. No, right? I'm like, come here, Tristan. No. Right, I try to go chase him. He grabs his giant stick and he runs in circles around the park, like running. Like he would rather run like huge laps around the park before I can get his shirt off. I finally get his shirt off. He grabs this giant stick and he just runs around hitting the tree and stuff like that, like this little baby caveman just smashing up the tree, laughing and giggling and having fun. Why is that? Because it's also about being non-compliant. And why is that? You're not just going to let someone just clown you and tell you what to do, right? You're in your joy. Tristan doesn't care what I think of him. Tristan doesn't care that I'm just going to boss him around. He's going to do it his way, even though he's 4. That's what like. Maybe 30 years ago, maybe you wouldn't have liked that. 2020 and beyond, maybe something you want to cultivate. Your life depends on it, by the way. And that last sentence I said is the biggest rule of the whole video, but you won't see it. Your life depends on it. So coming from that standpoint, have joy, enjoy, be joyful, okay? Go and have crazy fun. Go watch stand-up comedy. Joke with your friends. Take the time to joke with your friends. Take the time to have fun with people. Take the time to stop and smell the metaphorical roses. Mandatory. Got to do it. And that's where going out becomes the party of the century. Okay? You should be able to go to like the most average bar and make that the party of the century. Whenever I'm out with like high status people, I will always sit, how like if there's like a big table of like 15 or 20 people, there's like the cool end of the table where the more high status people are, and then the other end of the table, people are kind of quiet and they kind of look over at the high status people. I always go to the quiet end of the table, and I'm going to have more fun than the people at the other side, and I just find joy in looking at their confused look. Like, I thought we're the cool end. Seems like the cool end is over there. It's like watching LeBron with like 4 other bench players go all the way to the finals, right? I don't need to have other cool people to have fun. I don't need anything but myself. Okay, I don't need a girlfriend to be happy. I don't need to have anybody to be happy. It's your relationship with God, your relationship with life, your relationship with the present moment, your relationship with joy. So you begin to position yourself as that. Now, as you continue to position yourself as that, okay, as you continue to do that, then what winds up happening is you're present to the moment. You have good beliefs about you're present in the moment. You have good beliefs about yourself. You're very, very joyful. You're outside your head. You're expressing freely. What's going to start to happen in your communication? You're going to see in your communication that your voice unstifles. Now, by the way, that whole thing where you say, I can't think of what to say. I can't think of how to start the conversation. You will have no problem whatsoever thinking what to say, and you will have no problem starting conversations, and you will not have any social anxiety when you're doing the things that we're talking about right here. It's just not going to happen. Not going to happen. You're going to not only not have social anxiety, you're going to barely be able to contain yourself. Like with Dylan, he's 11 years old. He wants to go to the front of 200 people and go frame control them because I taught him in that manner. When I posted the Dylan seminar, you should actually go watch the Dylan. Can you maybe load it? When I post the Dylan seminar, I know that the average person is not going to watch that, right? It has low views. It even hurts the channel algorithmically when you post it. But I was even thinking of doing an introduction on it, but I'm like, no, I'm going to post this unfiltered just to make a point that my 11-year-old son, without training, but just from being present to the moment and joking around and having fun, he's going to smash it. So let's just go click in. Let's just go check in with Dylan even just for like a little bit here. I'm watching an 11-year-old in front of a crowd of adults. And this is one of the smaller crowds he's done, but he's done big crowds as well. Okay, huge crowds, 11 years old. So let's just let that roll just for a sec.
Yes, that is what we want.
Yes!
See? Okay, now we're gonna do when I say one, we're gonna go A, but I'll stop. But I want you to keep going until you're out of breath. Okay?
Okay.
And remember, try to be loud as possible.
All right.
But I don't want to hear actually yelling or screaming. Okay? Okay. 3, 2, 1. A. Okay, we're gonna do it one more time. We're gonna do it one more time. 3, 2, 1. Wait. I forgot. This time you're gonna do it on your own, okay?
Okay.
First one's with me, and then it's just gonna be you. Okay. Remember, until you're out of breath. 3, 2, 1. Okay, you can stop now. Okay. You're great. Now you can go back to your seat. What's your name?
Puka!
Louder.
Luca!
Louder.
Luca!
Okay, who wants to get insulted?
I want to get insulted.
Okay, you're gonna assault him, and you also, and just because you put your hand up. Okay, you're gonna assault him, and him. Okay, first thing first, you're gonna assault him.
Okay.
Okay, I want you to say, button shirts are for losers.
Button shirts are for losers.
Louder.
Button shirts are for losers.
Louder.
Button shirts are for losers.
No offense, but your voice sounds like a loser.
Yeah, the idea here, insulted, by the way, insulted. So what he's doing is he's doing frame control exercises to test the level of your frame. What's funny is, people will say things like, oh, he's like teaching his kid to insult people or something like that. It's look, he's going to get made fun of on the playground, right? So it's teaching him not to care when he gets made fun of on the playground and to view it as a joke. Heads up, you're also going to get clowned and tested out at the club. Just a little heads up there. So when, sometimes I do these exercises where I'll kind of test somebody's frame a little bit, just keeping the mic off there. When I'm testing somebody's frame a little bit, they're like, why are you doing that? Like, why are you doing little frame tests on them? Just affirm them too. And it's like, no, we build up the inner state and then we test the inner state. It's like a boat that you fix all the holes in it and then you put it in the water. When I'm pushing on you or dissing you, I'm putting the boat in the water to see that you're impervious. It's a test. That gets cut out of context a lot. It's one of the crowd favorites of these chumps to kind of cut us out of context. So from that standpoint, if an 11-year-old kid without my instruction can watch me do a couple seminars over the summer, go up and do his own seminar, what does he believe about himself? How present is he? How joyful is he? I didn't sit there with him in the living room practicing the exercises. He put them to memory, watched what I did. I brought him up a couple times. He had a hard time the first 2 times, and then he'd just go up and crush it. And no gores bore, it's not a recording. I specifically do lives because I'm a perfectionist, and I find that if I pre-record it, that I will just keep redoing it like I tend to do with my videos. So what I like to do instead is just go in there and just rip it, okay? So that's why I do them live. I don't even need to do them live. I just think it's cool to do them live. So as you go out, what's going to happen? You'll become like Dylan, unstifled, self-amused, joking, laughing, in your joy, expressing freely. And what's going to happen when you do this is you start to build up a tremendous amount of social clout within a venue. Okay, there's little popping sounds you might want to check into, by the way. So it's like I'm hearing like from the front. I don't know what that is. So basically what you have is that what happens when you become the most popular person in a venue is now people start to want your approval. Well, what's going to happen is people start to want your approval is now you have options. And you've got a lot of options, okay? You've got a lot. Yeah, by the way, Brandon's like, there always has to be that person asking, is it live? The thing is, why would I post this at what time's now? 1 in the morning? It's like the worst posting time, humanly, but it's 2 in the morning now. Yeah, if I was gonna post this as like a broadcast that I pre-recorded, I would be doing it probably at a peak posting hour in the daytime, not in the middle of the night when the views are low. So anyway, the point being is that all of a sudden you have options. And what'll happen is that people will see that other people are chasing your attention and approval. Other people want to come and hang out with you. Other people kind of want to kick it with you. And that suddenly starts to become very, very obvious. And the key to this is ease. Okay, the operative word is ease. You have to choose to make this easy. If you have bad beliefs about yourself, if you're not present, if you're not joyful, it's like this battle, and it's exhausting to go and talk to people because you're fighting against inner demons in your head. You're fighting against trauma in your head. You are not used to having fun, so you're faking it. You don't think good things about yourself, so you feel like you're faking it. You're used to being trapped in your thoughts, so you're trying to stay out of your head, but it kind of feels exhausting. So a lot of this is work that you're going to do at home, and then what happens is that when you go out, you are going to behave in a manner that shows, that you're high in the hierarchy, that you're joyful, that you're congruent, that you're fun, that you're you, that you have a unique energy. There's something unique about you, that you're like a real person. You're not just like some kind of NPC. And, it's like when that energy from above infuses your body and you're just expressing and in the zone and you're really your fullest version of you. And so the idea of be yourself can be interpreted in many different ways, can't it? It can be interpreted as just to be this depressed loser and just accept that you're a depressed loser. But it can also be something where you've removed the blocks, you removed the weights, and you've got back to the core of who you are. And when you remove the block and the weights, you look a lot like Tristan. You look a lot like Dylan. You might even be able to pull up that little clip of Tristan. It was in the last seminar, kind of running to the front. That was the first time he's kind of like run to the front of a seminar. And it was in the last one in the Free Tour channel. And you could literally just go to the Free Tour channel. And it's right there. And it's probably about probably right about there, actually. It's like right about there, 340-ish. You can just press play from where it is now. And you'll see Tristan running up to the front, right? And look how in the moment he is. You're now at 5 minutes, so it's not going to work anymore. But if you could go to 340, like how we had it, you could get it to work. Yeah, right about 320 or something. Probably around 320, Probably around 320. Yeah, you'll see it in the little thing. Yeah, there it is. So 320-ish, yeah. Yeah, so you could press play. Just kind of let it rip a little bit. Want to hop up here? Up. Up. Stand up. Now say hi. Hi. Say hi. Hi. Say, I'm Tristan Cook.
Tristan Cook.
Yes. Say hi to Tristan Cook, guys.
Hi, Tristan Cook.
Meet your future leader. Okay, say, I'm going to be the president.
I'm president.
Say, I'm going to be the president.
I'm the president.
Yes. Tell him, give him a hand, guys. Okay, you can follow him out. Go there. Okay. There you go, buddy. Go see Dylan, okay? So that's what happens. What I want you to observe there is I want you to be look deeply into Tristan's pupils and look at how he's in his own joy. And he's sort of naively oblivious to, the pain around him. Like someday it's possible that Tristan will see this as an adult, right? So Tristan, you're seeing this as an adult. I'm your father. I love you. I'm dead. And you're seeing yourself in a moment of innocence. The world has gone into a very bizarre place, which I prepared you for. It is totally freaky. And you're playing an important role now. And you've been traumatized. And you've been hardened. And you've been betrayed. And I love you. And I'm so sorry at what happened. And I've done everything that I can. Everything. And what I want you to remember, Tristan, is I want you to go back to when you were a baby. And what I'd say to you is no matter what bad things happen to you, what you just saw there is who you truly are. Unlearn the damage. Forget what's happened. Come back to who you truly are, Tristan. I love you. I can see you now. You can't see me, but I can see you. And I love you so much. That's who you are. And no matter how much the world attacks you, never let them steal your soul. Come back to that energy that you saw there. Stay in the fight Keep accomplishing, do your duty, do what you're here to do, which is a lot, but never let them steal your soul. I love you, and I miss you. I'm excited to see you on the other side of the veil. Excited to be with you again. I love you so much. And what I'd say to you watching at home now is the exact same thing. Never let them steal your soul. You're a 10. You have value. I love you. Tristan loves you. Dylan loves you. God loves you, which is the most important. And you have to love yourself. So have that belief in yourself. Allow yourself to be present. Allow yourself to have joy. Think the highest of yourself. And then use that as a foundation to accomplish many amazing things. Right? They say faith without works is nothing. So it's about the works that you put into the world as well. But use that rather than waiting to find that joy, waiting to connect your soul. Connect to it now and use that as the foundation to build upon. So what I've been trying to get through to you here is that it's a kinetic chain. Okay, it's a kinetic chain. And it's a combination of what it is that's going on inside of you. If you feel like you're going to cry now, let it out. Release it. Let the poison out of yourself. I give you permission. Give yourself permission. Let it out. Let it out. Allow your perception to open up. See the beauty of life. Let it in. That same joy that you saw in my son Tristan, that's in you too. So rediscover that, because in many ways the purpose of growing up as an adult is to go through those turmoils and then to rediscover that childlike joy. But then to operate not to have just that childlike joy from being naive as a child, but being able to rediscover that as a highly responsible and effective adult who can then go into a social venue, meet everybody, network with everybody, do what you want to do. You're effective, you're competent, you're resourceful, you get results, and you do so from a place of joy, okay? So that is what it is that I want to leave you with tonight. I'm so incredibly excited to continue our journey together. And I'm excited to meet you in person. I'm going to see you one of these events coming up. And we've got a lot of events coming up all over the country, all over Europe. So make sure that you click into selfhelpfreetour.com. And if you're inspired by what you learned here, go deeper right now. Actually, don't just go into Higher Purpose Program. Go and watch it. Go through the content. Begin applying it. It's going to change your life. I've got a lot of amazing content coming out here. Live broadcast, full-on seminars, video shot out in nature, and a whole new type of video that we're going to be putting out soon too. We're even going to try to put out some of our OG content a little bit coming up because we're going to be doing the full phase out of that. So might poke out a little bit here or there. We've got a couple plans for that coming up, okay? And I'll be doing my last year of my old school type of trainings this year too. So shoot me a DM on Instagram if you'd like to learn about those. Probably got about 5 of them left. And then we're going to be building into whole other niches. But if you like that OG stuff, make sure that you shoot me a DM on Instagram, okay? We'll make it happen this year. So I love you very much. I'm going to wrap up now. Make sure that you shoot right over to Self Help Free Tour and get signed up tonight. Get inside this program, start going through it. It's the best resource I can offer you now. And we'll go on our journey together. We're going to wrap up. I'm going to go to bed, wake up for another big day tomorrow, and I'll talk to you soon. Love you very much. Peace.